Good morning, everybody. So I was feeling the desire for some chair this morning, so today's practice will be chair yoga, a little bit constructed and then some deconstructed. And yeah, I'm feeling kind of hectic this weekend. I have my classes, a class resuming next week here at the studio, and so I'm having to prepare the space, and there's a lot more to do than I realized, so I'm feeling a little and so anyway, I'm looking forward to today's practice. And so you're going to need a chair, and folding chairs can work in a pinch, but you have to be really careful, because if we're doing any standing work and you are using the chair and the balance is off, or the seat might just collapse on you, so we don't want that to happen. So obviously, if you're going to use a folding chair, just be super, super careful. Otherwise, any chair will do, as long as you know, there are no arms to impede your movement, armrests, and the seat is somewhat flat. So you don't want anything that's kind of curved, and some of them are. So today's practice will probably be short, because like I said, I really have to get going and clean the space and reorganize props, and I'm putting into place all kinds of things so people don't have to sign in anymore. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Okay, so the other thing that you might find helpful is if you put a mat underneath the chair, if you have a yoga mat, and that's just going to prevent it from slipping, which can be super helpful, because you know we are using a chair in a way that, you know, it wasn't necessarily meant to be used originally, and that is that we do a lot of movement on it. Normally people just sit in chairs. So have your feet about hip width apart, so 2 fists maybe, or about. And you know, there are different places you can sit on your chair, and that will have a different effect on what you feel, the sensations you feel. So sitting on the edge of the chair is probably the most challenging place to be, but also it's necessary in certain practices. And then there's like a mid kind of a section that has more of your thigh on the chair, and that will help ease certain exercises. And then of course there's all the way back, so that you feel the backrest connecting with your back. And that can be more for the meditative parts of class, and can also help, you know, especially people who have any kind of back issues. Having the support of the back of the chair can be helpful. To start though for today, let's come to, hello David. So come to the edge of the chair. And let's see, you can't quite see my feet in the camera, so I'm just going to scoot back a little. So let's start with a nice body scan. So just let your hands lay on your thighs, either palms up or down, whatever feels better. You might try both. I find one is more grounding and centering, the other seems to be more receptive to me, more uplifting. So it's up to you how you want to have them. And then just begin to start getting in tune with your breath. My breath is a little light and erratic because I've been running around. Notice if you're breathing more in your chest, or maybe there's more belly movement. What parts of your body are rising and falling with the breath? Just this simple action of slowing down, coming into stillness, and being more aware of our body can change our state almost immediately. And with this stillness, we become more aware of the body and sensations that are running through it. So now begin to move towards the feet with your attention. And just notice how your feet are connecting to the ground today. I noticed I have my toes kind of slightly up in the air in a way that says, yeah, I have things to do. So there's this impulse to get going. So just noticing if that's the case for you or if there's something else there. And then seeing if you can drop more deeply into the feet and the ground. Does the weight feel even from left to right? Do you have more weight on the balls of your feet or the heels or somewhere in between? Notice also the spaces, maybe between toes, maybe under your arch. And then scan up the legs just to see, just quickly to check in how you're feeling through your legs today. Is there any tightness, soreness? Notice if there's any situation going on with the knees, with residual pain or swelling, anything like that. Just notice. Be aware. Into the hips now. You might notice that you're maybe sitting on one sits bone more than the other. So you can kind of shift back and forth. So you can feel each sits bone and adjust the body to come right on top of both. And this you might find frees your spine a little more to lift. And it might also free up space around the rib cage so it's easier to breathe. You know, of course, we have the habit of slouching as we sit. So as we lift, that creates space along the front body and gives more freedom to the diaphragm. So you may find that your breathing is changing now, becoming more deep. Maybe the exhalation is taking a little longer than the inhalation. Now scan through the shoulders and the arms and allow the arms to become quite heavy in sensation. Feel the pull of gravity rather than pushing down mechanically, just use gravity. Tap into that force that's there all the time, asking us to release to it. And then noticing any sensations around the neck, jaw and head. Feel free to open and close your mouth to just, notice if there's any clicking going on, how tight your jaw might be today. Oh, a yawn might come, let it come. And then let's not stop here. Let's continue our body scan that include the energetic body. So rising up out the top of the head and imagining kind of like a fountain, this cascade of energy pouring over and around the body in all directions. And just scan that, maybe a foot or so from the body all around. Just scanning what you feel in the space immediately surrounding the body. For me, I feel some tension around the energetic heart in the back. So you might not be sure if you feel anything at all, especially if this is new to you, and that's perfectly okay. Just keep looking, be curious. And the sensations might be subtle, so trust them. Trust whatever input you receive. All right, so now allowing your arms to drop along the sides of your body. And we're going to inhale as we raise the arms overhead. So breathing in. Flip the palms, continue up with the inhale. And press the palms together, exhaling down. And we'll repeat that. And hang on a second. I sent this poor Stuart out on an errand without his credit card. So I had to text him, and sorry, I just wanted to find out what he said in reply. Okay. So breathing in again. Flipping palms, and continue the inhalation. Arms overhead, reach. Heavy sits bones, long body. And exhale. Good. Continue that several more times, but I want you to really do it on your own pace. So follow your breath. And if it's uncomfortable to bring your shoulders up like that, the thing is to remember, it's okay. It's okay to raise the shoulders to the ears. You don't have to pull them down. That might be what's happening if it's painful for you. Let the shoulders rise upward. What we really want to do is we want to free all the little attachments between the ribs. So that's what this motion is more about than having the arms overhead per se. So try to free up the space between the ribs. And release. Good. Okay, so we're going to lift the arms now lightly, just lifting into space in front with the breath. And then exhale, lower the arms. It's a little energy work here. Breathing in. Exhale down. Again. Feel the space. Feel what your fingertips are moving through. Good. And now we'll open, so hands in front, opening out with the breath. Good, again, opening, breathing in nice and deep. And relax, release, back to the front. Open. And releasing back to the front. Again, open. This time we'll stay open. Arms overhead. Now we're going to turn the palms up towards the ceiling. So flip them over and press away. And then press the palms back down, reaching up again. Reaching with the back of the hands toward the ceiling. And release. Let the arms come through the center. And hands back on the lap, palms up or down. So let's start to do a little waking up of the neck here. So first, just bring your chin lightly to your chest, and you don't have to touch it. It's just a figure of speech. So just lower the head. And just note what you feel in the back of the neck. So, you might feel this all the way down your spine. Or it might get stuck somewhere. So just notice where the tension is and feel free to make any little movements. Slowly. And then lifting the chin back, taking the chin up now towards the ceiling. So really it's not about, what we don't want us to jackknife the head, this kind of thing. Ooh. So just lift with the chin and don't lose the space in the back of the neck. Think of the back of the neck as getting longer as you're reaching upward. And here too, you can explore a little bit of movement. Just note what you're feeling through the front of the neck and maybe even down into the chest. And breathe. And back to center. Let's lower right ear to right shoulder, or left ear to left shoulder. I think I'm not mirroring you here, so this might look left. For me, it's my right. And just hold here. There's no pressing. There's no over-efforting. Back up to center and the other way. Now this way's a little tighter for me. So again, no need to push, no need to drag the head down, trying to reach that ear to the shoulder. It's enough just to tilt this direction and feel the lengthening through the side. And then back to center. Good. And then we'll turn the head one way. And back, and then the other way. And just notice, I tend to have a lot of neck stuff, and there's definitely a side for me that's a lot easier and freer than the other. Now here, when you turn again to look at the other side, just allow the shoulder by gravity to drop. And then back. And again, the other side. When you get there, just hold, and then by gravity, allow the shoulder to move away and down without pressing it down. Breathe. When you reach that point, that end range, or just before the end range of movement, take a deep breath and breathe into the tightness and the space that you feel. And back. Okay. So again, dropping the arms to the side, let's do some side motion. And in fact, I'm kind of just going to start to get a little less constructive now, and allow some, more free form for you. So we're going to do side bends, but there are a lot of options and ways to do this. And sometimes I will hold on to one side of the chair as I go over ahead and then to the side. But I was also just feeling that I wanted to have my hands on my waist, so you might try that instead. So having the long arm down, breathing in and lifting that arm up towards the ceiling first. So lengthen through that side with the breath, and then exhale over. And then breathe here. Really feel the grounding of your feet here. Don't lose connection with your feet. And then reaching up with the inhalation to come up. And then we'll go to the other side. So either holding on to the chair or hand at waist, or any variation you want to try. It can be nice to cross the hand over to the opposite knee also. Breathing in, reaching up, and then over on the exhale. Breathing here. You might look forward, you might look up at your arm, you might try looking down. So lots of options for different sensations. Good, and then with the inhale, reaching up and coming around. Good. All right, so just feel now how that felt through the side body. Got lots of tingling going on here now. So let's go ahead and, let's see, let me think for a moment. Let me just feel for a moment, because that's how I roll. So there is a really strong desire in me to be still now. And that's okay at any moment in any class that you ever find yourself in. It doesn't matter if the teacher's telling you to, do whatever. If a moment of stillness comes to the body, grab it. It's such a beautiful gift to pause. And in fact, now what's happening because I stilled is that I'm feeling this impulse, the intelligence of the body start to arise. So instead of me sitting here teaching a chair yoga class, what's happening now is I'm feeling that intuitive movement start to arise in my body, and I'm going to start paying attention to it. So now class might be a little less constructed, as I was saying, and become more deconstructed. So I'm feeling some movement through the spine, wanting to arch and curl. So this is, a very common movement in yoga classes as cat-cow. But feel free to make it whatever you want. So it doesn't have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to be linear, forward to back. It could be a little side to side as well. So just allow your spine to move freely. And you may or may not be bending forward, be bending back, leaning back. Just allow that freedom to find the sensations that make you feel alive. Follow your breath. Notice how your body's moving. What is moving at, the body always moves as a unit, whether or not we give it credit for that. We think we're just moving one part of our body. But whatever part we move creates a chain reaction. And so in a way, intuitive movement is allowing that chain reaction to start and then just following. And if you'd like to come into a forward bend here, feel free. And you might have your knees apart, as I do. You might have your knees together here. And you can have your hands on your thighs. Make sure that your lower back is comfortable here. And you might have blocks or books or something that you can have here stand on either side of your feet for support as well if you can't reach the ground, or your feet, your ankles. And rising up. And then let's come forward again. But again, make it your own movement. So here I'm turning my feet out. I'm reaching forward now. So actually, let's go ahead and walk the feet a little wider, so more in a kind of a goddess pose position here. And then just explore some sensation here. So maybe moving the trunk off to the left, and then walking the hands, trunk over to the right. Back and forth. And then let's place one hand directly under the heart, And we'll go ahead and lift the other elbow behind us. So up towards the ceiling. We're still looking down towards that arm. Just feel that light twist through the middle of the back as you lift your elbow. And feel free to start opening that arm, but just be very aware of how this feels for you. Use the breath to keep the spine elongating into the space in front of you. And deepen the twist through the middle back. Now try not to take the arm, all the way back and kind of tighten up through the shoulder. Allow that shoulder to be an integrated part of your spine. And then release. And we'll go to the other side. Hand under heart. Looking at your hand. Leading with the elbow towards the ceiling or sky. Just feel that little bit of twist. Or maybe it's a lot of twist for you, depending on how tight you are through that middle back and rib region. And then opening that arm, if you choose. And release. Good. Fall forward over your legs. Now here too, if it's not comfortable to hang, you can be on your fists like this, on your fingertips. And you can also, if you're coming down a little further and you want to rest your head on something, you can have a block here. And let's roll, or if you don't want to roll up the spine, just place your hands on your thighs and then continue up. Slowly. So let's bring the feet back together and sit and feel. Notice any changes in sensation around the whole back body, the back line. Okay, let's bring one knee into the chest now. Now, this is where you might want to be in a different spot on your chair. So if you're on the edge, the sensation and the ability to sit up tall on your sits bones might be quite different than if you are seated all the way back in your chair. This causes me to round a little bit more. So just notice that and do what feels right for you. So I'm flexing my foot here. It's active. And actually, I think I want to rotate my ankle. And then I'm going to grab behind the thigh and just extend that leg. Your leg may or may not straighten. It doesn't really matter. Just reach into the space in front of you with the heel. Toes reaching back towards you. And yes, there's effort here. My arms are having to work. My leg is having to work. And I'm also having to really sit up tall. And then bringing that foot in towards you to grab hold and cross over your thigh. And here, it doesn't matter if if your knee can get all the way down, that's not important. It can even be up here. So just where it's comfortable and you feel sensation through the under thigh, outer thigh, hip. And then if you feel that it's a good idea for your body, you can start to come forward. So this will deepen the stretch. Please stay flexed through the foot. Breathe. And release, coming back up. And letting go of that leg. Just taking a moment to feel left to right. And then starting with the other knee in towards chest, sitting up tall. Working the ankle. Grabbing the underside of the thigh and extending that leg into space. Toes towards you, heel away from you. Don't lock your knee. Strong arms, lifted body, lifted sternum. And then crossing that ankle over thigh somewhere where it's comfortable. And again, letting this knee be wherever it needs to be for comfort. Just holding here with the foot flexed. Breathe. And then if your body invites you to come a little deeper, feel free. You can round over your leg if you'd like. A little tighter on this side, so I'm just taking it easy. releasing that leg. Feeling both sides of the body once more. Now let's do a standing motion. And you know, the thing is, most people spend their day in a chair. And so, you know, the thing with chair yoga, if we're doing nothing but sitting, then we're not really getting this front line of the body and helping to free up some of the tension that can collect here. So let's stand at the side of the chair. You can grab hold of the back for balance if you need to. We're going to place the foot on the chair, and what you want is to make sure that as you lean forward into that leg, that your knee's not going to go beyond your toes, okay? So you're going to have to position your foot where you can lean in and still have your knee over your ankle about. So we're just going to lean forward here. You really want to bring this back hip around to the front space. Toes are pointed forward in both feet, both legs. So you can hold here, or you can just do some gentle moving back and forth. And also feel free to shift your back leg further or closer to the chair as is comfortable for you. Of course, the further away, the deeper the stretch. You can also allow this knee of the long leg to drop towards the floor and feel the sensation through perhaps the thigh or the groin. And if you think of your whole lower back's sacrum, pelvis, pubic bone as a unit and press it forward, you also might be able to get a little bit of a back extension here safely. Perhaps hands on lower back or hands in the air. And then coming back, lengthening that front leg. 3, 4. And then we'll come back up and go to the other side. So actually I'll move my chair and go around it. Okay, so setting yourself up on the other side, so toes are facing forward on both feet, maybe a little turned out on the standing leg, that's fine. And then just making sure that you can lean forward without coming too far over your toes. And maybe starting with a hold, and then as you feel yourself able to bring that hip around, just starting some movement back and forth, or holding, whatever you'd like. And now I'm even feeling a desire to twist a little here, so I didn't do this on the other side, but it doesn't necessarily matter, you know. So cross your opposite arm over that bent knee, and you can do a little bit of a twist here. And back if you'd like, or hold it. I'm going to start to move my back leg away from the chair to deepen lunge. And then maybe trying to find that forward motion of the sacrum and the pubic bone. Moving forward with the lunge. And, automatically when we do that, it helps us to open up through the chest. It's a response, a chain response, rather than, okay, I'm going to do a back bend now, and you manipulate your back to go backward. This is from here, from the steering mechanism, okay? And release, and you can do a long stretch for that leg on the chair. And my knee is not locked here, neither knee is locked. Okay, and then coming back up, and we'll release. I'm gonna move the chair out of the way now. And just kind of jog in place, just kind of shake and loosen up the body here. Shake, shake, shake. Loose, loose. Wiggle. Free yourself up. Shake, release, let it go. And then stand with your feet parallel, about hip width apart. Feel that beautiful motion, that swirling of energy through the body. And then come on down to your mat for a Shavasana. And if you want a blanket or pillow or anything to make yourself more comfortable, feel free to grab that. You can start in constructive rest with your knees bent. You can use a bolster under your knees, whatever you'd like. We're just going to be still. And actually, I think I want a blankie. So as you arrive, feeling how different it is to be on the floor compared to the chair, and how the muscles that we need to sit, that we can let those go here to gravity, to the support of the ground. Notice the imprint your body is making on the floor. Surrender the doing and allow the being. If you're in constructive rest, go ahead and lengthen your legs. And concentrate your mind on the sound of your breath. If your mind wanders from the breath, just draw it gently back. Continuing to soften and release the body. With each breath, each exhalation. let's prepare to come out. This might involve a long, deep breath, tightening certain muscle groups and then releasing. Maybe just movement through the fingers and toes. All of the above. Anything you want. Rolling onto one side when you're ready. And then reaching away with your top leg, pressing up with your top arm into a comfortable seated position for you. Allergies. So let's close with an Om today. So bringing the hands together, rubbing, creating some heat. To the chest in Anjali Mudra, a little pocket of space between your hands to hold your intention for your day. Breathing in deep. Release the breath. And breathing into tone. Thank you. Have a tranquil day. I just want to say an announcement that this Facebook Live is the last one that will be available after the fact. Starting in June, all the videos of the Facebook Lives will be removed from Facebook and put on the Tranquil Living Tribe site. And I would love to have you visit the site and see if you want to become a member. There are a lot of benefits to members, including exclusive videos, not just the Facebook Lives, but I'm actually creating videos in studio. And there's discounted classes and events and meditations and other things that you can be part of. And the content is updated every month, so it changes every month. So there's a free trial offer if you'd like to give that a shot. And I hope to see you there. If not, maybe see you here again on a Saturday. Okay, take care and enjoy your day.